You can't make it up. Matisse Thybulle comes back in his first 3 minutes. He gets 2 steals, goes in, gets that game-winning block. Plays just 6 minutes. Doesn't record a single point. Doesn't take a single shot, but he still had some of the most impactful plays of the entire game. And boy, howdy, was it nice to just see him back. We talked about it in yesterday's pregame show. We just wanted to see him out there, see how he looked. We knew there was going to be some rust. That was to be expected. He even said as much when he talked to the media earlier in the week. You know, it's good. Got to get the feel back in there. Haven't played for so long. Did not look for a second like he was trying to find himself. He looked like he had not skipped a beat. He just went right in there, played defense. He got his hand in the lanes. He deflected the basketball, got a couple steals himself. Again, that last second block to seal the deal. It was just an absolute incredible kind of Hollywood performance, if you will, for Matisse coming back in his first game back in a year. And boy, howdy, did he make an impact. I know Blazer fans were hyped after that one. And I quite honestly, I think my favorite part of the entire sequence of him getting that final block and obviously the steals that led up to it was the look on his face, right? The look on his face after that block shot, because he gets the ball, he retains the possession, and there is just the biggest smile you've ever seen, right? Just this guy, you could tell, was just excited that he got out there and made those plays. And it was so great to see. It was so great to see. Now, taking a look at how this game did really go down for your Trailblazers, I mean, the Raptors, they started 5 of 5 from the floor. They led 12-4 early. The Blazers were just 2 of 7 from the floor. But then, interestingly enough, Scoot Henderson checked in. The team then went 3 of 6. But they were 3 of 4 on shots that Scoot didn't take, and there was 2 assists in those 3 makes. My point was Scoot was trying to get the offense going early. He had a rough game. He had 5 turnovers in the first half. He ended the night with just 5 points, but he still did have a positive plus-minus, which in this game is saying something. I like the fact that he rebounded in the second half. First half, definitely not great. No one's saying it was, but when you rebound, you kind of wipe it clean. You have a better second half. That's what you like to see, right? Now, in the second quarter, the Blazers put it back on. They started getting the offense going, which was struggling early. They go in. They outscore the Raptors 33-25, 52-52 at halftime. As Denny Advia hits a late 3 from the corner. Denny had 12 points, 3 boards, 2 assists at halftime. Shaedon Sharpe had 10 points. Klingon, he had just 2 points in the first half, okay? But that's okay. He ended the night with 5. But that's not what he's there to do. He's there to clean the glass, and he did that. He ended the night with 14 rebounds. Also had 3 blocked shots. Now, it was the 251 mark in the third quarter, though. That's the important part, because that was when Matisse Thybulle checked in. His first game back in over a year. Very good ovation from the Rip City faithful who are excited to see him play. And like I said, he made an immediate impact. He wasted no time. I mean, that first stretch of minutes for him, that first stint, was just those final 3 minutes of the third quarter, and in those 3 minutes, he got 2 steals. That's pretty efficient. That's pretty efficient. That is classic. You love to see it, right? And so it was nice that he was able to do that. Now, things got fishy in this game, my friends. They got fishy, especially in that fourth quarter, because Toronto had a lead late in this game. They had a lead late in this game, but Scotty Barnes doesn't play the fourth quarter, and then Jakob Poeltl subs out with about 6 minutes left. The Raptors go to their bench. We're going to ride you guys the rest of the way. That's when the Blazers pour it on, turn it on, and then grab the win. And you look at that situation that Toronto had to get the game-winning shot off. I think they had 1 starter on the floor. 1 starter was on the floor. That was Agbaji, the only starter. I think that's crazy to me. I don't like it. It was one of the most egregious tank attempts I've seen. We could talk all day long about, oh, man, the team sat this guy, the team sat that guy, Philly does this, Portland did that. No, I have not seen. I'm going to take out my best players with a lead and then the game on the line go with my bench. And no. And Orlando Robinson taking that last shot, who was a game of worst, minus 27 on the night. 4 of 12 from the floor, 0 of 3 from beyond the arc. And he's the guy taking that final shot. Again, that was a tank job to the highest degree. well executed if that's what you're into. I don't like that at all from Toronto. I don't know how you fix it. I don't know how the league does anything about it, but that is just egregious. Now, looking at the box score, Scotty Barnes in the 27 minutes of action, he actually did attempt to play. He had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 steals. So yeah, he was effective, but you didn't play him in the fourth quarter because tanks and stuff. Jamison Battle, he had 19 points before, or 9 points, before fouling out. 19 points, 8 rebounds for Jakob Poeltl. Jamal Shed, he had 10 points, and Agbaji also had 19, and then Orlando Robinson led the bench with 10. On the Blazers side of things, Toumani Camara, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 5 of 10 from beyond the arc, and in that fourth quarter, he was hitting every single big shot they needed him to hit, so you love to see that. Denny Avdia, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. As we mentioned, Donovan Clingan, 14 rebounds, 3 block shots. Shaden Sharp, 17 points. He did struggle a little bit from beyond the arc, just 1 of 8 shooting the 3. But you still like the fact he got out there, scored that 17. Anthony Simons, 22 points, 4 assists. Scoot Henderson, I said he ended the night with a positive plus-minus, which is saying something because you look at the starters, all your starters, only one starter had a positive plus-minus, and that was Shaden Sharp at positive 2, right? Positive 2. Toumani Camara, Denny Avdia, Donovan Clingan all had a -2 on the night. Anthony Simons came in at a flat 0. All right, so getting a 4 from Scoot was nice, and a lot of that was the second half, right? He only had 1 turnover in the second half, which I think you can live with. All of his 5 points came in the second half. He also ended with 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So it's not as if he completely turned it around and the second half was stellar. I like, though, how that second half wasn't the same, just muddy game that he had in the first half. The shot just wasn't falling, man. 2 of 12 from the night, 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. Dwap Reith had 9 points, 7 points from Chris Murray, 0 points from Matisse Thybulle in just 6 minutes, but ain't no one complaining about that because check this stat line. This might be the most impactful stat line that we've seen all season, despite the fact that it's filled with zeros. He was 0 of 0 from the floor, 0 of 0 from 3, 0 of 0 from the free throw line. He had 0 offensive rebounds, 2 defensive boards, 0 assists, no personal fouls. That's nice. 0 turnovers, a lot of goose eggs, but he had 2 steals and 1 blocked shot. He ended the night with a positive 7, the best plus-minus of any Trailblazer. Again, you love to see it, man, because that's Matisse Thybulle in a nutshell. He's not going to go out there to, light the scoreboard up. He's going to go out there to get defensive stops, and that's what he did in this one. And in that last possession, we played the highlight for you a second ago. What I loved about it was the fact that Toumani Camara actually kind of got lost on the play, didn't communicate, but Matisse Thybulle had the wherewithal to get back, get off his defender, and get that block shot. And once again, you got to listen to our man Travis Demers here on the call.
3.3 to play. Blazers out of fouls to give a 3-point lead. 105-102. This time from the near side, Castleton looks to get it in over Chris Murray. Gets it into an open Robinson. Blocked from behind by Matisse Thybulle. Grabs the ball. It's a Rip City winner. Welcome back, Matisse. Nobody blocked more shots from beyond the arc in a single season in the history of the league as it was recorded than Matisse Thybulle last year. 1 game back, and he blocks the game-tying 3 from Orlando Robinson, and the Blazers hold on to win 105-102.
Heck of a game from Matisse Thybulle, man. Like I said, he only played a few minutes, but we all know he's a great defender, and he wasted 0 time making an impact on the defensive side of the ball. This is Blazers Game Day, once again, presented by Coors Light, and I am your host, Chris Burkhardt. If you want to join in on the conversation, head on over to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, get in on the chat there. You can also hit me up on social media at Chris J. Burkhardt. We're going to take a quick break, though. When we come back, we're going to head to the Coach's Corner. We're going to hear what Coach Billups had to say following that victory over the Raptors. We're also going to hear from the man that I have been praising for the last 12 minutes, Matisse Thybulle, because, again, when you have a game like that, you finally get back on the court, the media wants to talk to you after the game, and you're going to want to hear what he had to say. Once again, this is Blazers Game Day, presented by Coors Light on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right, let's go to the press conference room from last night. Unfortunately, they had to move the press conference room today because there was a little bit of a flooding issue downstairs. The team's on it. The staffers here are doing a wonderful job, but they couldn't get it wired in time. I totally get that, man. In this business, sometimes you got to have your plan B's, C's, and D's ready to go, and you use them. You use them. So kudos to the Blazers for getting that taken care of. But we are going to go back, hear what Coach Billups had to say following that victory over the Raptors last night.
How cool was it to have Matisse in that game for you guys?
It was awesome, man. It was awesome. I just, obviously you seen he hadn't played all year and games online. You see, I trusted him. Just throw him out there. He gave us some energy that we needed. Didn't play him in the first half. Couldn't find a spot there. We were struggling so bad. But man, I thought Tease was awesome just to have him out there. His energy was great. His defense was really good. Throw him out there on Scotty Barnes. He made it tough on him a few times. I was happy for Tease. I mean, it couldn't have ended any better, with him coming from 30 feet away from the play to get a block shot. He's maybe the only guy in the league. I never seen anything like that, but like him in terms of his closing speed to get block shots. But he was awesome. But I thought Chris Murray gave us some incredible energy, and when we needed it as well. Chris was huge in this game. You look at the stat sheet and it won't suggest that, but he was a big deal for us. I think the growth that we showed, the thing that stood out to me was the growth that we showed at the end of the game. I mean, we were just in this situation a few days ago against the Knicks. The Knicks up 3. Didn't foul. It cost us. We got in that position right again. I thought it was awesome to be in that spot again so quick and see, can we learn? Can we learn from it? And we did. And I was proud of our guys for it. We fouled when we needed to. We switched, and we had a little mix-up at the end in our 55 X coverage. But, again, I tell our guys, if you're going to make mistakes, if you do it with playing as hard as you can, chances are you can make up for it. And that's exactly what happened.
Johnson, why do you think the game was so disjointed for you guys on both ends in the first half?
Well, I just thought they set the tone. That team has been playing as good as anybody. Won 6 out of 7 games. And I told you, we talked about all the stats, since All-Star, them second chance points, fast break points, offensive rebounds, the top of the league. Styles make fights. We know that. And we knew we were going to have a tough time on the glass against them. And we did. So they set the tone, which I didn't like. I always want us to hit first, but we didn't. And that's what happens. When you get hit, you start retreating. They keep going. They keep getting aggressive, more aggressive. Now you're in a tough spot. And so I'm proud that we fought back and fought through it, but I definitely didn't love the way we started that game.
That seems to happen a lot against teams missing guys. Are you waiting for these guys to figure out that you just can't lax against teams like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's an inherent letdown that happens, and it's no matter. No, we're trying, but again, that's the youth thing, to me, it always just shows its head some way or another, and we have that letdown, and it hurts us because there's a lot of times that we don't get a chance to come back in a game like this, but that's a hard team to play against, man. I'm looking forward to playing against them again. That was a lot of fun.
Did you think two could turn into this level of shooter? Obviously not 5 of 10 every given night, but being an above-average, consistent three-point shooter that you can. It's not a guy you hide in the corner, but a guy that contributes regularly.
I did think that he could. Last year, just watching him, his mechanics were just fine. I didn't think he had the reps. He was never used in this way. So this summer he went to work. And he worked on his shot, worked on his standstill shot. And there was a noticeable difference immediately when I seen him. His confidence, his balance, his base. It was just, I knew it. But obviously he's not a 5 for 10 shooter yet. But, man, I'm telling you, he is climbing that ladder pretty quick. And when the ball lands in his hands and he has time to shoot it, I feel really good about it. Even when he misses it, I'm saying, man, we got a good look there. We'll take that. So, obviously, his shots were huge today.
Yeah, it was. That was exactly how I would put it too. When it came to Monty Kamara, his shots were huge. That's what I said earlier. When he got there to the fourth quarter, he hit all the shots the team needed him to hit. Right, like he was aggressive. He was focused. He was ready to go. And that's exactly what you want if you are the Trailblazers for Tamani Kamara. Because I've likened him to a bit of like a Wes Matthews type. Like a guy who's going to go out there and play exceptional defense, probably average, 15 points per game. Going to have those games where he gets in the 20s, but you're just going to have him right there with offensive weapons around him. But when the ball's in his hands, you're confident he's going to make the shot, right? Like you were confident Wes was going to make that three. And you're getting to the point now where you're confident Tamani's going to do the exact same thing. So he's been incredible. And again, Coach had some high praise for Matisse Thybulle too. Talked about that final play. Like there's not a lot of guys who can cover that much ground in that amount of time and get back like he did. And that was an incredible play, man. Like I said, it is 100% you can't make this up. Like you can't write this. This is beautiful. It's perfect. And he went out there and did it. So you have to give him some kudos for that. And speaking of Matisse, I want to hear what he had to say following that game as well.
That had to be very thrilling for you to get back out there and play, do what you know you can do, like you talked about in practice, and then seal the game with a block.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, my head was spinning a bit, got tired a lot faster than I was expecting, but felt like I fit in well. Felt like I was able to contribute early, which was something I was hoping to be able to do, and then, yeah, was able to recover from a mistake late in the game and save it.
Walk us through that.
We were supposed to switch on contact. There was no contact. Is that Tumani? In my defense, Tumani was supposed to tell everyone to switch on contact, but he didn't tell me, so I didn't get the memo. Messed it up. Luckily we saved the day.
So the switch didn't go well, but you recovered and
That's, yeah, kind of how it goes. Yeah.
The other day at practice, you said it might be frustrating the first few games back. Did you feel that today?
No, I'd say the only frustration was just like wanting to be able to give more, but not able to just because like getting tired so quickly. Like, yeah, you just want to be out there and give as much as possible, but having to like realize the limits on how much I can contribute right now.
Did you expect to play today?
Yeah.
You did expect
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Do you feel like you were getting tired quickly? You were only out there for 6 minutes. And you feel you feel it?
Fatigue. Like there's just like the physical cardio of it, but then there's just the cognitive load of remembering plays, knowing the scouts, and having been able to play a bunch of 5-on-5. It was just a lot more variables, and so like the compounding effect of both running and thinking just kind of, pulled my battery down quick.
What do you think the response that you got from the crowd when you checked in?
That was pretty cool, honestly. It was really, really cool. Can't say I was expecting it, but like I'm really grateful for just how excited people were to see me back on the court, because like you go so long, not that you feel like you're forgotten about, but you just like other things become a priority, and other people like take the spotlight, if you will, and to be able to come back just in like sparing minutes, but people be that excited about it was a good feeling.
How did you feel when he called your name? Did you have a surge of like, this is it?
Well, I was in the tunnel doing like my activation stuff, and all of a sudden like everyone's looking back at me, and I'm got a rubber band around my knees, and I'm trying to run down there and take it off and not miss my opportunity because I was trying to do some freaking knee exercises. So it was overwhelming, but got up there, luckily didn't get subbed in right away, so I could like get my bearings.
Did that first steal where you deflected it high into the air, did that help you settle into the game a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, tonight was kind of like, thank God it worked, because like that first steal, I went rogue. I just felt like the dude like was out of control, and I jumped him and got a hand on the ball. At the end of the game, made a mistake, was able to recover. I think the whole thing was just like getting a feel for it again, like I said the other day, just getting those reps.
Isn't going rogue, though, that's part of the brand a little bit for your defensive game?
For sure, but like when you come back after like 68 games and not playing, you want to just like be solid and do your job right. But I guess I couldn't help myself.
That's what I love about Matisse, though, man. You could tell that he was excited that he got that opportunity. You could tell he's excited to be back in the game, and you know that you have a basketball mind, quite honestly, when he's talking about the fatigue, not because just the physical, but the quote cognitive load. That's the type of guy Matisse is, man. The wheels are always churning, and there's a big mental part of the game, and that's as important as it is the physical side, right? Physical side's ready. Now you gotta get that brain back going, and obviously he has a brain for us. I think he'll be just fine. All right, this is Blazers Game Day presented by Coors Light. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for our Coors Cold Hard Facts, and I might have to rant about tanking a little bit because my goodness. I might give up fish because the smell of it inside Moda yesterday, thanks to the Raptors and their fishy tactics, was kind of disgusting. We're going to talk about it coming up on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right. The Coors Cold Hard fact tonight is quite simply that the NBA needs to do something about tanking. All right. I know they're trying. This year. That you've seen the fines come out, with the teams like, oh, so-and-so's being investigated for who they sat when Portland came into town because Portland had that game against OKC where they didn't play any of their starters, right? They rested the whole crew, right? And you've had the games where you go to Dallas, and Dallas isn't playing Luka, and then, and of course, he's in LA, but you had those situations. And sometimes you get the Lakers. Oh, LeBron's out. And it's like, okay, I get it. We rest stars. That happens. Now you get teams who are in the tank job, and they rest too for different reasons. Again, when you go and you play Dallas and Luka wasn't playing, and you got injuries, or you got teams that are like, you know what, we're in a playoff race, we're just going to rest some guys, right? When you go and you take on the Lakers and they're not playing LeBron, and now since they have Luka, they're not playing Luka. You get situations where like, oh, we're in a playoff race, we're just going to rest some guys. And that's what happened in Oklahoma City, right? We want to make sure we get through to the playoffs. We're going to rest some guys. Is that annoying? Yeah, especially if you bought a ticket and all the stars didn't play. But obviously those teams aren't tanking. Now if you get to a situation and it's like, okay, Toronto, we're going to sub out all of our starters in the fourth quarter of a game that we're winning. That's tanking at a whole new level, right? If you want to tank, take out Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl. Don't play him. Just don't play him. This is your game where you're not going to play him. But now you're going to go and you're going to say, no, league, you can't find me because I played the guys. I played the guy. What are you talking about? I played the guys. I didn't take them out. I know you guys are very, very, you're paying attention to who's playing and who's not because, we got to put our best foot forward, paying customers, yada, yada, yada. I think what happened last night was far more egregious than what happens when you don't start a player, right? Like you can look at the times that Portland was tanking, right? When they weren't playing Dame and, obviously Malcolm Brogdon not playing at the end of the year last year and all these. Yeah, but in those situations, as annoying as those situations are, at least you knew from the jump those guys weren't playing. And the guys that you did put in were putting their best foot forward. They were going crazy, right? So that's where you got fun games from Delano Banton and stuff like that, right? You knew there was tanking going on, but at least with the guys you had, you're like, I'm going to go try to win this game, right? What happened last night I thought was gross because you cannot say, yeah, with the guys here, I'm going to go try to win that game when you took out all your starters in the fourth quarter of a game that you were leading. You took your starters out. It is a 3-point game. You need a 3-point shot to tie the game, and you have your bench is the unit on the floor. That's wild to me. Your best player is sitting on the bench. Scotty Barnes, like, yep, just gonna stretch out. And Scotty Barnes, like we talked about, he had an incredible game. He was filling up the stat sheet. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals. That's both sides of the ball right there. No, taking him out. We got to have Orlando Robinson, who's a game worst minus 27. Who's 4 of 12 from the floor. We need him taking that shot. Again, an egregious tank job. Now, if your team tank, now you got to applaud Toronto because boy howdy did they do it. They did it. They grabbed defeat from the jaws of victory, right? But I don't like that at all. I would have much rather had Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl not play. And then be able to say, like, okay, well, the team they put out there tried their best. If they won, they won. They lost, they lost. But, boy, man, when you have a lead and you take out your guys, that's something else. Can't say that I've seen that before. I thought it was gross. I think you do not tempt fate. You do not mess with the basketball gods. And what they did last night, Toronto, I think they messed with the basketball gods. And we'll see how that one plays out. I just didn't like it, man. I didn't like it. That was gross. Blazer fans liked it. You got to win. That's cool. But, man, I think that is a slippery slope. I mean, if the Blazers are tanking too, right, and they're looking at the tankathon a week from now and like, oh, man, if we lose this game, we're going to get a better lottery spot. And they sit there and they have a 5-point lead in the fourth quarter, and that's when they're like, yep, everyone out. Everyone out. Come on. No, we don't want this win that bad. We're going to Justin Minaya, Ryan Rupert, Dwapri, get in there. Get in there, guys. Go have some fun. I think I'd be annoyed by that too. I'd be annoyed by that too. That's wild. So good job, Toronto, for doing what you did last night, because it was gross. Did not like that one bit. That's why I said we were going to talk fishing, because that was mighty fishy what they did. What they did. The plus side, though, that was a great play by Matisse Thybulle. That was a great play by Matisse Thybulle. I loved in that presser, or not presser, but the availability after the game where he's like, is that 2 over there? And then he's like, well, 2 was supposed to communicate, and he did it. And it's funny because, like, if you're listening to the audio, you might think he's, like, trying to throw him under the bus, but he has the biggest grin on his face. Like, he knows he's razzing 2 a little bit. But, no, like, that was a great play. And that's where I think you see – the difference between a guy like him and 2, and the fact that 2 is getting there. You got to remember, he's just year 2, and he's getting so much better on both sides of the ball. But he's better defensively now than he was last year, and he's only getting better. He's been getting better all year long. But you got to remember, Matisse Thybulle is a legit all-NBA defensive player, and he put it on display. It was just 6 minutes of action, but he put it on display. All right, we're going to take a quick little break here on Blazers Game Day. When we come back, though, time for our keys to the game. What do the Blazers need to do to get a victory over the Washington Wizards? Oh, man. What could it be? What do you got to do to beat the worst team in the NBA? I don't know. I'll let you know when we come back. All right, here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right, what do the Blazers need to do to get a victory tonight over the Washington Wizards? Well, let's just turn back the clock just a few weeks ago. February 26th at Washington, the Blazers picked up a 129-121 victory over the Wizards that night. And it was an interesting game, if you guys remember that one correctly. Washington kind of came back in that second half. They destroyed the Blazers in the second quarter. I say destroyed. They outscored them by 6, but it was that kind of game. It felt like it was just way closer than it needed to be the entire time. And you look at the end of it, and it's like, okay, I look at the box score, and we watched this game. We saw how it went down. The assists were even. The rebound game was pretty even. Neither team turned the ball over a ton more than the other. It was 15-19. The steals were 11-9. Shooting percentage, it was 45-50. 3-point percentage, they both shot terribly. Free throw percentage, both shot terribly. Nothing stood out. Nothing stood out. And the thing is, the Washington Wizards are the worst team in the NBA, standings-wise. It's them and Utah, right? Them and Utah battling it out. They're right there. The Wizards 15-51, Utah 15-53. So here are those two teams battling it out. And the Blazers are much better than I think people expected them to be this year. And they've been playing incredibly well over the last few weeks. And so that is just not a team that I think you need to muddy the water with, right? So if you're the Blazers, don't let Washington have a chance. Just go for the jugular, right? Go for the knockout shot. Get out there, get out big in the first quarter. This is the type of game and type of team. If you're the Blazers, you lean on your inexperience sometimes when you have bad games. Or your young team, we're still learning. Turn the corner. This is the night where you need to Macho Man Randy Savage, elbow drop from the top rope, and you need this team down for the count after the first quarter. I want to see the Blazers get out to a lead and hold that lead and just prove the entire time that they have control of this game. That's what I want to see, because that last time they played Washington, they didn't display that, and they just let the game linger. If anything, play with your food a little bit, right? Sit there and say, okay, hey, you think you got a chance? You got a chance. We are in control the entire time. That's what I want to see from the Blazers. To do that, take advantage of Donovan Clingan getting big minutes and his size down low. He's been incredible on the glass. Win the battle on the glass. That's going to be important. Secondarily, keep control of the ball. That's another key thing for this Blazers team. We see turnovers far too often. Another thing I would like to see, though, from this team is I would like to see them. I know this is the year 2025, and I know that the three-point shot is very, very prevalent in today's NBA. But the Blazers took 88 shots from the field against Toronto. 50 of them were three-point shots. 50 of them were three-point shots. They made 18. That's good for 36%. I want to find ways to be aggressive and get to the rim. Now, of course, Denny Avdia does that quite well, but I think Scoot needs to be a little more aggressive in taking those hits and getting to the rim. And really, Shaedon Sharpe needs to start attacking. It's one part of his game right now that is missing, is his inability to attack with the ball in his hands. The dribble is it leaves some things to be desired sometimes. He's got the athleticism of Tracy McGrady. He's got the handles of Al-Farouq Aminu, right? Like he struggles with the ball in his hand, but he still needs to get better at that, right? And the best way to get better at that is to do it. I want to see him put the ball on the floor. I want to see him attack with some ferocity. I want to see lots of points in the paint and at the rim. I get it. I get that it's 2025, but when you're shooting 50 attempts from beyond the arc and you're not a great three-point percentage team, that's just kind of wild to me. Go to where you can get some stuff done. Do those things. I think you should control this game. And again, I just want to see a knockout blow. I don't care if you're a five-star frog splash like Rob Van Dam. You're an elbow drop like Macho Man Randy Savage, right? I don't care if you're doing swanton bombs like Jeff Hardy. Whole point is coming off the top rope, baby. Come off the top rope, hit them hard, get their shoulders on the mat for the 3 count. Wrestling analogies will get us through the day, all right? You guys understand what I'm talking about. All right, this is Blazers Game Day, getting you ready for Blazers versus Wizards. Last update, we got our health updates, right? Got our health updates. Well, Tamani Kamara is a game-time decision. He's dealing with some lingering injuries tonight, so we'll see where that comes out. If he'll play tonight, we'll find out. If he doesn't get to play, get ready for a healthy dose of Matisse Thybulle. I'm not complaining about that. But all right, music means we need to get out of here, but don't go anywhere because coming up next, Chad Dewing will have your pregame show across the Trailblazers audio network. Travis Demers will take over. Tip-off at 7 o'clock right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio. And, of course, when it's all said and done, keep it locked in right here to Rip City Radio for the 5th quarter where hopefully we're breaking down a Trailblazers victory. Rip City, I'll talk to you after the game.